My people, you don't finally read as they talk to you now.
Keep quiet. Get there, take food.
I'm not
You are the fool.
I'm not a fool,
You
sir.
can shoot anybody like that.
Sir, I'm not
You
a
are the
fool.
fool. Who are you?
I am not a fool, sir.
As at the time I graduated, you were in primary school.
I'm acting on all.
Now, what is it? The uniform is not about who is wearing it. The uniform represents the authority of the state. Whether it's a small boy or not, it is the authority of the state. It's even worse when it is a commission officer who has a presidential commission. And so, when you make such disparaging comments, you have desecrated the oath.
My people, it don't finally read as I speak to you. While I don't bust out to inside the presidency, they say that the FCT minister, Wike, is on his own after the insult he hurled at that Nig Aármy, the military officer who stood against him in the FCT while he was trying to demolish the property of a 3-star general. You guys are aware of the brouhaha going on in Nigeria as I speak to you now. Everybody has been airing their opinion over the incident. On an issue that would have been sorted out, respectfully, Wike wouldn't have even stepped out. Wike would have just put a call. Oh, soldiers blocked you guys from carrying out your duties. Okay, let me make a call and know who is who is this, who is that. And he wouldn't have shown face. He would just discharge those guys and say, okay, everybody back to base. We'll sort it out later. But in his power, he wanted to show that he has more power and authority over everybody. In the FCT, he trooped out with policemen, horses, and everything with alarm blaring. Wow, wow, wow. He went there to challenge that military officer there. Now the matter done read. Everybody has left Wike behind, including the presidency. In fact, I don't want you to go anywhere. If you have watched this far, please don't do me a favor. Subscribe to this channel, like the video, share it to others. Let them know what's going on. Now, let me take you to a video first. Even the presidency, that is the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has rejected Wike's move, saying that he acted on his own, that the presidency never instructed Wike or supporting what they tagged as a reckless act of ego, which Wike showed off in Abuja. Let me play you that video first before we listen to this former chief of defense staff, Irabo. Let's take a look at that first, where Tinubu has condemned this action through one of his spokespersons.
Meant to have listen to what's happening on radio, listening to what's happening on television, filter the internet and see the opinion of Nigerians. What you are going to find out is that the federal government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu has a wicked problem. And what is this wicked problem? An energetic, competent, goal-driven, with evidence of performance on one side, but a mismanaged, excessively irritating and garrulous aide who has no capacity to understand that you are a minister, you are representing a president. The amount of invectives you put out at people increases their ability for them to, first of all, dislike you, and then by inference begin to dislike your principal, who then makes everybody believe that you have been given the liberties to disrespect everybody in the country. You had a problem in Rivers, you were backed. People didn't like that. You seem to have issues with almost all our revered leaders in the country, whom you have no ears talking to them anyhow, speaking to them anyhow, disrespecting them. People tolerated it. You are constantly in the media, screaming, shouting, bellowing, jumping, saying it anyhow you like. People are slowly but gradually unhappy. And suddenly, you have to do a ministerial responsibility that could have been done via administrative correctness. But in your, I'm bigger than everybody, I'm very strong, and this and that, you put yourself in a situation where a junior ranking officer is now forced to hold the line before you and made yourself and the entire government you represent to become the caricature of joke. Let me advise so that they know. I once asked Chief Obasanjo one day when he had finished that, sir, how do You people control. How do you get the army and the armed forces to behave in civilian regime?
All right, I believe so. That don't hear him. That was Shegun Showumi, who was describing the situation. In fact, he said that what the Bola Ahmed Tinubu's presidency has is a Wike problem. Somebody who is trying to act on his own. In fact, they said that Wike granted interview, sorted the presidency. That is, Tinubu himself said that this is getting out of hand. I better reduce the way we take the grant interview for that office there before we sack you. So these are more, including those police officers who are overzealous, because we saw that policeman who jumped in front of Wike trying to, attack the soldier who was manning with that commissioned officer, A.M. Yerima. You guys should be cautious, because government word, they carry on for head. Do all this Wike that you are doing gara for today or tomorrow, they will leave you behind to face your reality. They don't even send anybody, Papa. You could see it, how he's lying now that he never called this guy a fool. Including the Nigerian police, IGP, has come out to say that, all those people who are doing all those illegal jobs, that they are not interested. Let's take a quick listen to the IGP when he was addressing the situation.
Let me reiterate without ambiguity. The Nigerian police force is not and will never become an enforcer for private interests. Officers have no business escorting parties for land recovery, disrupting legally existing occupations, or meddling in civil claims without a demonstrable criminal element. Every such incident erodes the neutrality of the force and opens us up to disrepute. The line must be clear, and any officer who crosses it will face disciplinary consequences.
So guys, let's quickly take a listen to the former Chief of Defense Staff, Chief Erabo, while he was addressing the chaos that ensued in Abuja between Wike and the commissioned officer.
Now, what is it? The uniform is not about who is wearing it. The uniform represents the authority of the state. Whether it's a small boy or not, it is the authority of the state. It's even worse when it is a commission officer who has a presidential commission. And so when you make such disparaging comments, you have desecrated the oath. You have desecrated the oath. What you have told the commander-in-chief and the authority that invested that position on him is that they are fools. So it is wrong. And I think that for the media, it is not about, in any case, law has two ends. For those, we also studied law. I'm not learned. But then in military law, we also taught that for you to be able to establish a crime, there are two elements: actus reus and mens rea. Actus reus, meaning that, was this thing done? Is there something that was done? And then the mens rea, what is the intention behind it? So when a son says that the minister has authority over land, and it's not the duty of a soldier, that is not the issue. Now, if you have any reason to believe that what the young man is doing, there is a channel. That's the rule of law. So you desecrating the oath, it has not. So this is what you, the media, must try to highlight. I know that over the years, we have lost our educational traction. Civics that ought to be taught, these are things that primary school pupils, secondary school pupils ought to know, that even adults don't know anymore. The whole essence of contracts, all right, the compact that you have with the state, that every individual has ceded his rights to the state, is because of things like this. So that we will not, at April 29, take laws into our hand. It is not a jungle. So if the state has, designated certain establishment and they gave them a uniform for you to be able to easily recognize them. Because today now, am I the CDS? I'm not CDS. Look at what I'm wearing. But assuming I was wearing uniform today, it's a different matter entirely. The officer that's in question, if you see him tomorrow wearing uniform, you wearing mufti, you will not see him. So what distinguishes the police, the military, and other agencies is the uniform. And so we should respect and honor the uniform. And that's what we should tell our children. That every Nigerian, when you see them, are they doing what is right? They may not be doing what is right. But then it is not your duty to now lay your hands on them. So otherwise, we're in a jungle. That's exactly what's happening. That counterterrorism has become a ding-dong thing. If you go to social media, nobody knows what is right and what is wrong. What was done with good intention is misinterpreted because of sins like that. And that's why I thought that since we're talking about media, terrorism, and national security, addressing the complexities, this is a part and parcel of the complexities that will give a wrong impression to those. Tomorrow, people will now think that when you see a military man, you should slap him. This is a jungle. Even police, why will you do that to a policeman? Me, as a general, I can't slap my soldier. I can't touch him. I can't use my hand on him. If I do that, either I apologize to him or I will be disciplined. The same thing across the world. Don't you see, even when police is brutalizing a citizen in US, trying to strangle, other people around, do they go to hole? No. Because they respect the uniform. But is he misusing the uniform? Yes. Will he be dead to it? Yes. So let us get the distinction. I thought that it would be a good opportunity to see. So as I conclude, what I need us to take away is that we were reminded yesterday that as editors of the media, we are the last man standing. But then, because we are dealing with national security issues, you as last man standing, you do not have the sword to protect you. So if the first man, the second man, and third man are all dead, what becomes of you? So note that.
Keep quiet. Get a big fool. You are a big fool.
I'm not a fool,
You
sir.
can shoot anybody like
Sir,
that.
I'm not
You
a
are a big
fool.
fool. Who are you?
I am not a fool, sir.
As at the time I graduated, you were in primary
I'm
school.
acting on all.
So guys, if you want to send money to Nigeria, please download LEM5 from App Store or Google Play Store. Use my promo code on the screen and get an instant cashback of 15 euros, 15 pounds, or even $15, whether you are sending from America or Canada. This app transfers at 0 fees.